Enough is enough. Ghana obey ye. Kofi Kwanti Nadaruma. Ghana obey ye. Emre Nedru. Se Ghana obey ye. Mre Panadru. Se Ghana obey ye. Ye woni da so keke mu. Keke ba ya magana ye. Oh. Emre Panadru. Se Ghana obey ye. Ye woni da so keke mu. Keke ba ya magana ye. Oh. Emre Panadru. Se Ghana obey ye. Ghana has gold, bauxite, diamond, cocoa, timber, oil. Indeed, Ghana is really endowed with a lot of natural resources. Ghana has what it takes to be rich, super developed country. But yet still, we are retrogression.
Things made it.
Ghana meburu nyinasi, keke yomu jidiepa. Ubetumi aye. I'm a Ghana yet to say you. Ya wareshemo uze. Keke ba ya magana yo. Ah, I'm ripping a dream. Sa Ghana be. Ghana for your thing. We need a new leader. New Ghana, new leader. Courageous and visionary leader. Ya we Yanya obiati sakeke oh Kofi Kwanti Obebuwa magana ye One Ghana, one people Ghana menyi na ye baku Enfawoni kasa hudro Aye kika wo maimu Yanka ya ubam tisabra yo Yebre ye diema o my Ghana oh Mripa na drew Se Ghana
Ready way I go buy the thing or as I come back again they say the price increase. Actually they no kui. Baby I did that one fan 2 year free talk. I'm going carry so na me ko baby. Yo. Yeah. Yo. Yeah, near brilliant, dear bro, this don't be time for games. So man a pro, internet in the so dark complaints. Common stability, yet me if I tell it today, yeah, pray balance, yeah, president, I join your planes. No be 140 be the bribe and corruption. But this be the timing for use one assumption. Me I stand for peace, development of the nation. Me entertain interests and liars for the nation. The resources utilized, price for compromise. My head be one come then you back who go die. Economy now you weak, impend your phone so you foot to fly. Parliamentarians a ceremony for energize. From Teho, time no be yours, it's here one way to go. Mobile another form and a year for people. Ya can ever mobile, what the beer yet in Monko, Miss Mama Suso. I drink the beer at the set for the right move. Set for the right move. You were your food, were your box side. What the hell did we do? What the hell did we do? I don't know yet, I don't know yet, but drinking now your blue juice. I'm drinking now your blue juice. But don't for me so you know that. It's a Ghana, we need change, yeah, Kofi Kwanti. Kofi Kwanti, ye penny ye party, eh, Kofi Kwanti. Kofi Kwanti, dollar nako high with the suffer, ye Kofi Kwanti. Kofi Kwanti, on my pages here with no stress, ye Kofi Kwanti. Kofi Kwanti.
Yeah, you'll be a hospital, yeah, you'll be a schools, yeah, you'll be a bridges, yeah, you'll be a bank. 2024 January election, Kofi Kwanti. Kofi Kwanti, the popular choice of the third force. Kofi Kwanti, Kofi Kwanti, oh my Ghana, Bayedo. Kofi Kwanti, Kofi Kwanti, MPP and DC away. Kofi Kwanti, Kofi Kwanti, 2024 January election. Kofi Kwanti, the man with the vision. Or dream of running, Kokrane Miriwa, is the right man for the nation. He they bring us national development plan. Ghana fair wabro Jenya, then go run. Come back home just to settle down. Cause Ghana Bayede will be able to mine. Every single town will be able to show. Yehoba Toya and you'll be any other show. Kofi Kwanti is capable of doing this thing. So what the back make you all go 2024 January election. Kofi Kwanti, Kofi Kwanti, the popular choice of the third force. Kofi Kwanti, Kofi Kwanti, oh my Ghana Bayede. Kofi Kwanti, Kofi Kwanti, MPP and DC away. Kofi Kwanti, Kofi Kwanti, 2024 January election. Kofi Kwanti, Kofi Kwanti, the popular choice of the third force. Kofi Kwanti,
chirim achene na ekasa yi efitete chirim achene ana asafo chene keka ne ho pa na oko ana asem kesi biesi bere na dio Ghana mrantere maba abanko abangba mumu bebre nya adwuma nye mu yase eseniti ase munni insano dwuma biara munya sika mwa moyirenom mukununum mumma ene mawofo bere no adu se mumma mo homere so ka mo hubom so abrante nim defo bi asen ma odinkunim afe mpema bien ne aduna nan abato no mu abrante no ne Kofi Kuranten ana okoje aman Kofi Kuranten ofi ni suku ase wo nkran otua ase wo London ne New York America mfipi oje abodin wo mfiridwuma ne sikasemu wesi nketekra chese odi osianhu a onyan no bebu Ghana man ne titiri umrante ne maba Kofi Kuranten wo Ghana man wo dopa osi esese Ghana kanyan ne ho di nani kire baabi a omanfo behu se nsakrai papa mu no wo Kofi Kuranten aban de kwadwuma soronko besakra omani ama mrante ne maba anya nnwuma akasi mu kwan atemponga asese esese aban nsiesie no na Kofi Kuranten si na asemhia pa osi esese yesakra mra yedibu oman no bi ode nhihye pa begu fam ne Ghana beye dededede mu a muwo abefo mfiri mumo okoje aman Kofi Kuranten din se obetu sikawia ne katasehye kurakura okoje aman Kofi Kuranten serenkwa ne akwanhusan me Ghana manyira.
I promise on my honor to be faithful and loyal to Ghana, my motherland. I pledge myself to the service of Ghana with all my strength and with all my heart. I promise to hold in high esteem our heritage won for us through the blood and toil of our fathers. And I pledge myself in all things to uphold and defend the good name of Ghana. So help me God.
Hello, abusuafo. Wochichia, ye hope so bia hu ye ye dem asese na nso monya bre ma be kan ho. Yesre mo mon share ne dumedi no ebeye show. Na moni beji pa se ne ye sa broadcast. Nti mon share na nipa mra no me kan ho. Na enkomo bibiri wo ho asese ye di ne. Ghana is in crisis. na se yama yɛn ho mene so na obiara especially wɔn a ɛwɔ diaspora wɔn anya baabi atena wɔn anya aduampa bi adi a wɔn ho atɔ wɔn no wɔn a mɛboa yɛn na yɛntumi ansizi back yɛnye yɛn man back a yɛn ho bɛkyerɛ yɛn nti yɛsrɛ mo monwɛn mo so awie a yɛn mo ba bɛkasa yi na montie na ɛbɛba bɛkɔ so nsɛm na ɛbɛba bɛkɔ so de bebree nti montie na ɛbɛba bɛka no yie wɔfrɛ me Kofi Korankye Mary Stan for president 2024 mede me din rebɛtom na anafo nyinaa mabutu ama me na mabɛsom mo sɛnea ɛsɛ na ɛfata sɛ wɔsom ɔman ma mepɛ na mete systems ase mepɛ na metu kwan more extensively than any other candidate and you say me two kwan kɔhwɛ po anaa me two kwan kɔhwɛ flowers anaa sɛ amekɔ kɔhwɛ aburukyiri awɔ baabi na mekɔ kusua sɛnea aborɔfo ayɛ wɔn adwuma afa na wɔn ama wɔn aman ama wɔn ho so na wɔde nide ne ɔdɔ sononko ne mmoa ɛso wɔn ɔman ma asen na wɔn nso wɔn adi yie so ɛno na makɔ no makɔsua wɔfrɛ bibi si system so obiara a wonim Ghana yie no wonim sɛ Ghana no yɛyɛ nneɛma no kɛkɛ obiara yɛ bi hwɛ obiara tumi ka biribiara mekɔsi toilet mekɔyɛ 24-hour economy wɔnyɛ analysis biara wɔnim baabi efi na ɛkɔ ɛno ano sɛ wɔka nneɛma no kɛkɛ because wɔnim sɛ campaign promises de wokasa te sɛ Akufo-Addo a nipa pii bɛgye wadi 2024 ɛrenyɛ saa 2024 nipa a sɛbe wɔnim de nipa a sɛbe wɔdwene wɔn man ho na ɛreba abɛhuru agyina mu na wɔn ato aba nti wɔrenyɛ sɛ wɔreto aba no kɛkɛ because wakɔka biribi a ɛwɔ aso mu dɛ wɔde nyansa bɛto ho nsɛm a obiara ka no wɔbɛsusu ho yie na wɔde pepa ne pen ato ho na wɔn atwa line no na wɔn ahu sɛ asɛm a onipa ko nkan ɔwɔ ho nimdeɛ anaasɛ ɔka no kɛkɛ na nipa pii aka ne sɛ Ghana youth de wɔyɛ lazy Ghana youth de wɔmpɛ adwumayɛ Ghana youth de wɔyɛ sɛ wɔn aka agu Ghana youth so because wɔnim sɛ power nankasa de ekura Ghana youth na me represent Ghana youth a me wɔ gidi wɔ Ghana youth mu ɛno nti na me renounce me citizenship wɔ America maba Ghana sɛ mebɛboa Ghana youth na wɔn nso wɔn show wɔn ho wɔ map no so sɛ ɛyɛ mmoa na mpanyinfo mfa mmoa Ghana youth ɛyɛ aborɔ na mpanyinfo de adi Ghana youth anka Ghana youth no yɛyɛ the top of the world so uchin kɔ Singapore China wokɔ Malaysia wokɔ Japan ne Germany ne ho nkeka ho a wɔn youth no bibia ni hɔ a ɛma wɔde sen Ghana youth so na aborɔ a wɔn adi Ghana youth nti ɛyɛ a wonam hɔ a wobɛkasi Ghana youth no ebi a wɔmmɔ wɔn ho mmɔden ɛnyɛ saa nti na yɛba abɛkyerɛkyerɛ biribi mu but sɛ yɛbɛkyerɛkyerɛ biribi mu mpɛ sɛ yɛlay ground na nkɔfo te nneɛma bi ase sɛ yɛrekɔ into campaign season yi candidates ni pii wɔbɛdi atoro Ghanafoɔ mu ntie na meke wɔn adaadaa yɛn akyɛ but for 2024 momma yɛnyɛ biribi soronko momma yɛnyɛ biribi a yɛnyɛ bi da sɛ seesei de obi akasa a yɛbɛtie ase yie yɛmfa na wɔka no kɛkɛ na yɛbɛtie asɛm a wɔka no yie ne yɛhwɛ sɛ so obi ba na ɔbɛka si wonyɛ train me nenanom saa na wɔka no train wonyɛ train na wonyɛ lorry akwan na wonyɛ sɛbe mass transit system buses no ma ne ade a wontumi nsɔre a mɛka si wɔreyɛ 24-hour economy because economy biara no egyina nneɛma biesa so egyina na edi kan connectivity ne sɛ bibi wɔ obi tɔn brɔde wɔ ha a obetumi afa brɔde no ɔde bɛkɔ gua so ɛbɛyɛ dɛn na ɔtumi de akɔ ɛbɛyɛ dɛn na brɔde no afi wuram abedu gua so anaa ɛbɛkɔ government approved center a wɔbɛma no value na okuani no bɛnya sika wobɛkɔ so ayɛ ne brɔde fu no wonwene no ho yɛ usi wobɛyɛ 24-hour economy na kyerɛ sɛ wonnim na woka na kɛkɛ ɛyɛ denti wɔn aka ahyɛ wano sɛ kɔka obi bɛgye adi na nso wakɔka wonya akwan yɛ yɛni akwan a ɛde nnuan kɔ sɛbe ɛde kɔ gua so ɛni akwan a ɛde nnuan kɔ government wɔfrɛ den storage centers nitrogen storage centers ne yɛni bi kura wɔ Ghana silos a nkroma yɛ ni na asɛe nti yɛtwa bayerɛ ne in 2 months bayerɛ ne season ne ɛnde a bayerɛ asa wɔ Ghana because yɛni storage facility wɔbra yɛwɔ storage facilities a yɛbɛtumi a store bayerɛ na kɔpem the next cycle a bayerɛ bɛba bio yɛni anu bi yɛtɔ yɛn asɛ fi Nigeria ne Niger sɛ a wɔkɔi ɛho bɛyɛ den ama yɛn so nti sɛ wonni connectivity wonni data fast speed internet a wotumi fa phone now woyɛ call na dem ɛnyɛ nea wofra wo say the person you are calling it out of reach normally then ɛno no nyɛ fast speed internet wotumi kura me Vodafone the frame me MTN wo say the caller is out of reach na yɛ mea na me frɛ me ho so if you say Ghana phone mpanyinfo nhwɛ sɛ yɛn data bɛyɛ adwuma internet connectivity no ɛni hɔ sa yɛni mass transit system yɛni trains yɛni buses yɛni wɔfrɛ den ships anaa waterways what you say nsu wɔ Ghana nsu yɛni waterways a kyerɛ sɛ boats ni ade nam so transport nipa ne goods and services nti wokɔyɛ 24-hour economy denga na ɛyɛ dada a nipa kono kranti ase number 1 and the connectivity number 1 wɔfrɛ BBC complexity ne sɛ wabɛn wɔ biribi mu na ade na wabɛn wɔ mu no wasua na akɔ anim na wonim deɛ of ade kono abɛn wɔ ebi a otumi yɛ my friend say motherboard ana otumi yɛ abɛn computer bi te sɛ na mekasa wɔ so yi otumi sua no hu computer yi a na obetumi ayɛ a complex electronic system for a plane ana a car ana a boat ana a ship ana biribi na kyerɛ sɛ wasua 1 nti worokɔ 2 a ɛnyɛ den wasua 2 nti worokɔ 3 a ɛnyɛ den but you want to mean no 1 year to go to 3 no almost impossible and none of any complexity ne say human ejija nti wotumi sua na ma the competence na wotumi sua bibi foforo na ma the competence wotumi sua bibi foforo so ye ni competencies wɔ Ghana na wo wie competencies na ni obontie na nkasa ye complex would be complexities na wako competencies so inti would need to be saying connectivity complexity competencies na actually competency ne ba answer na complexity na ba want to me increase 24-hour economy and yet government will create 24-hour economy government to create infrastructure resource environment availability to finance and say onipa benya sika no wode be small business administration mu na entrepreneurs a won train won a won relevant education no wo benya school pa akọ na wode be sua de na wo benya ensanodwuma technical skill set no na wo kọ small business administration na won akọje loan nti se nyuma pii no fiase build it up na we yese a na demand akosoro demand no kosoro na it overflows into 8-hour work day no started those because demand akosoro because nipa na 8 hours no echo 10 hours na 12 hours neko na kwa na kudi 24 na 24-hour economy na wo government no want to make share obi say onko buye adwuma because want to make share obi no inti no won't mean legislate say, oi, adwuma for 24 hours. There be because no now or your business owner no. For him to be in a business, no, or here other businesses to support or no. So say we a business, maybe I want to grow. We here who skill set to grow. Who was from one to grow. But I say when you be of a supply with Isam. I say when you be of a supply with yeast. As I say when you be of a supply with bread trays, I want to grow no. Or as I say when you be of a distribution amount, we sales people. So Uncle Funny now support two business of bread making no. So obi kura wo ho no ma wo fetew esam ne man as a bread maker. No no dey pizza, or no dey muffins, or no dey cakes, or no dey pastries bebree. Inti wo ye in business no esese wo fetew ade na wo de komo obi foforo. Se nipa ko na store na tum no wa ma adwuma. Wontumi mfa esam ne nkogya no. Esam no so fetew as e wo time period wo ho. So inti for one business to be working 24 hours, as I said, business is a support in now. Say, me here some of the frown or the abba, me here soup, yeast, not the abba, me here ingredients, what do some lard, and the fattening, shortening, nominally, sanny now. Into one to me, so I can say, yet, who call legislative 24 hours, that one nim now can, Mr. Mahama, mon country missy, make if you granting missy, or nim no can. Martina New York over 37 years. Minim senia work say 24-hour economy. Minim senia tefa. Media 24-hour economy. Where would be Martina my yebi. All kinds to Ghana. Near ye say ye no. They say you create efficiencies. One country Mahama no ni efficiencies no. Naturally say 8 hours na ye jumano. You have to get more out of the 8 hours. What Mahama could do, they say, Obama businesses, I one with their finances, resources, machinery, skill sets, no money are they training. Now, what be more efficient within the 8 hours? You know, what be more efficient? And yes, it will be created 24 hours. And what been a President Kufuor, yeah, or 127 ministers, no, because that old style of thinking, yes, say, to get more, no. You have to have more. In this new world of artificial intelligence, no, you don't have to use more to get more. You work on using the least to get the most. Inti Mr. Mahame, your ideas are outdated. Your ideas, no, you're outdated. It's not for this new Ghana that we want to build. Inti Pelba Bitna. Bahumianso Abijana on concept. Oh, tell Mahama it's a very bad idea. Oh, Bahumia some the one can intimidate Bahumia, but on also 24-hour, on also Bekaya. Government's police station is a 24-hour because they run 24 hours. Hospital, 24-hour economy because Bahumia. Utility companies and government agencies, no, the base for any economy, no, to survive. Intia no and can work as a 24-hour economy, mostly from the private sector, businesses, small businesses, startups, create a 24-hour economy. Inti Baumia and Tiase, Bra Mahama Tiase. Now, what can be beach Ghana for because of food say, yeah, can't. Oh, now, some medium fear beach now, oh, Mahama will change the Ghana. Politicians are true. You don't know what you're talking about. NDC and MPP, both. Inti Munya Ghana for right now. Most 24-hour economy explanation. And yet, first of all, and who crying here make Ghana more efficient. You got them. You got them. So, ma when Crawford you might say nurses, doctors, medical professionals, no. What you might chia one have training no and teachers one licensure exams processes are why you know one say no one pass no one qualify for one human won't chia one car and no who here to get a base economy to start running with systems near then systems here performance behavioral performance behavioral mechanisms are you put into human endeavors and mitigate and direct the outcomes and non-offensive systems. Inti munya systems here, 24 hours. How do you think it's going to work? It's not going to work. And yet, inti mama enonkoda. But I just want to prove a point. Say you don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Mahama, Mr. Bahamianso. You don't know what you're talking about. Now, Ghana for munti asema mbabe kenyi. Ehu hiyame papa inti munti niye. Any government into me and acts and punish criminal officials severely. Any government into me punish criminal officials severely. Now input systems together to me tear down any conception of corruption. Now if I want to punish one na enkrofun who say corruption is absolutely unacceptable in Ghana. No, they cannot run Ghana. Munti na making you. Any government, say ye Bahumia, say ye Mahama, say ye any of the independent candidates, on to me man mekanche Ghana for say, meba, I'm going to obia in the last 10, 20 years. What caused financial loss to the state? The Baba Chine rap sheet. Near her baby away sika. Near punishing to the core. Capital punishment. Now ye sika ye jebak no. On to me your president. And say Ghana Fonso man a chance no your president. Now Monty as man Baba King. Obia obeba obekansa no. Ono ankasa kra no. And say watch him too. Candidates now are present for presidency. Obi oba because corruption need the tika corruption take away from our economy as in income ever into the economy. Into obia who need a way to eradicate corruption now and punish people severely. Send you one more view. No, would me in your president or Ghana funti ni. Obia ba no be president no ho say opeso ye president bisa no ho say answer na obeka say 24-hour economy answer na obeka say obesi toilets answer na obeka say obeye bibia no kire yen wo plan to eradicate corruption ubon so obeye kom kire yen say wo be change constitution na kire paper na guarantee say wo be change constitution na macron bono ejai in the government on to me nka because okape ono ankasa na show you pusi ho inti eyi de a simple thing Ghana for mo pe Ghana ya the American free obi obebedia regardless say obesi bridge am obesi planes am obesi den the first point in this is so show us a plan to act and punish severely wanga abokron and yet from here going wanga abokron in the past no one kwatch one mra no one punish one na yen sika won awiani na wonye mra obi antumi ntwe yen plan or the best ade na ontumi nye president cause obetua kron bonoso Ghana fo mon share na momo bi antie na meka no na momo bi who said this is the decider of the 2024 elections. Say any candidate obeba no to show a plan on to sign paper. Say, meba, obia wa Ghana crown for the last 32 years. Ye kochina ba, na ya punisheno ni we pay the price. Prison, any fines, yensika we no odi yen adebe breye no, on to your president. That just eliminates 99.9% of the candidates. Me pena ekame because me pena market me ba me strip away presidential exemptions. Me pena ma ba me kese me ba be institute a national development plan because if you change the constitution only I entrenching in the constitution so no be hearing to me view. No candidate can say that. In Ghana for say mo pe mo candidate ma ka kire mo misi Obi on the ring num say a contest and as I said, making emphatically clear say Oba one about chrono for the last 32 years in Ayakotwa because your paper trail of how it can either. Now one DNC cabre and yasa punishing on top. Obi on to me yes on to me president. Simple and easy. What I say now? Yanko assumption na minka asem na muti ni. Mahama took us from 9 billion to 122 billion. Kufuor Jao government no ho 9 billion of debt, 9 billion cedis of debt. Mahama boy buyer okwe no we Jao 122 billion cedis of debt. Inti is of 122 now divided by 9. A 13.55, which means to say statistically no Mahama gave us a statistical increase of 1,355%. Simple math. For 122, audience could be now divided by 9, 13.55. Naturally say, Mahama gave us a statistical increase of 1,355%. Okay. Akufo-Addo so audience 122 billion cedis. Mahama Jaoyen. No audience call say so far 600 billion cedis. So, inti wofa 600 billion now divided by 122. Winya we're finding 491%. 491%. Okay. Inti Bahumia and Akufo-Addo gave us 491% statistical increase in debt. And Mahama gave us a statistical increase of 1,355%. So, okay. Now, yes, flip Adi round. Near her say, if Akufo-Addo had taken over from Kufuor, based on the performance of the Mayan 491%, where would the 9 billion cedis of debt now Akufo-Addo Jaoyen Mahama Kufuor Jaoyen, where would that have ended us? Say Akufo-Addo took over from Kufuor Jaoyen 9 billion. Into with the same performance level of 491% of a statistical increase. Say we'll compute on 9 billion. Where would we have ended up? We would have ended up a simple. Like I say, you times 9 by 491%. Simple math. 4 times 491%, which is 44.26 billion cedis. And he said, yes, Uncle Akufo-Addo and the MPP will take it over from Kufuor. Tama Kufuor Jao 9 billion cedis of debt now. Anka say Ghana's debt would be 44.26%. To be fair, no, so you say, yes, Mahama. Yes, Mahama had continued. New reign. Time Oja 122 billion cedis of debt, or Triaswa, with the same performance of 13.55, or finding 1,355%. No, Anka he Nankobe end up until you times 122 billion cedis times 122 billion cedis times Debbie. If Mahama had continued from if Mahama had continued from Baby Akufo-Addo relief of CCA, now it would be 122 times 600 over 122, which is 1.65 trillion cedis. Akufo-Addo brought us to 600 million. Mahama in that same period, for where Akufo-Addo took off, would have brought us to 1.653 trillion cedis. Into Akufo-Addo ended about 600 million. Mahama would have done almost 3 times the amount, which just tells you how bad Mahama is. In America, I say, if a person who we gave an economy to at 9 billion cedis, he couldn't manage it. He brought us to 122 billion. If you give him 600 billion cedis of an economy, he's going to take us to 1.653 trillion cedis of debt. Is he worth chancing? Maybe I gonna be youth. Monsempo. Mona wherever be quiz more with unconscionable dirty. Unconscionable. Odwene hu enyi. Nti se mo pedia na ye mo asem. Se mo pedia, you have to fight like your life depends on it, because it does. Because yes, Mahama beba ana bahunia beba no wa be boka gumuti so a mo ye mo ho hwia enyi. So inti I'm just telling, these are propaganda, actual numbers. I took it from one numbers. Numbers I just have a way of turning the numbers into black and white. Inti me analysis of Mahama and Bawumia Akufo-Addo no plain and simple. So inti me baba bought tape B from Most Reverend Matthew Jemfi. Most Reverend Matthew Jemfi ye speech B na okansam na ye pese ye bo na obiye tie bi nti se ye ready a ye the video no betum na obiya etie Matthew Jemfi, Most Reverend Matthew Jemfi speech on mine efa Ghana. Now o Christo ni penyin Onyankopon ayi no Christo fu na muntie Onyankopon na ayi papa yi so ne ye mekasa why you bold atumi akasa nti momi entie nyansasem ewo ne speech over my no we are yebeka bibi kakra account but yo mo fa this video no to mine mo man volume kakra
Ghana. We will also reflect on the growth and the development of our beloved country, Ghana, especially as we prepare for political elections in 2024. We all know that the people of Ghana repudiated the many years of military rule. Most Ghanaians longed for constitutional democracy, and we had hoped that this system of government, also we were made to believe, will give Ghanaians both political and economic freedom. Yet, after almost 32 years of what is supposed to be a democratic governance, we all know, I'm not saying it, we all know where we are as a country. The bishops, over the years, through military government and this democratic government, have issued statements of encouragement, statements of correction, statement of support almost every year and many times during the year, behind closed doors and in public. Yet, nothing, it appears, almost nothing of our concerns and the concerns of the people have been taken into consideration. Yes. In this democratic dispensation, the one that we are practicing now, we have successfully replaced only one political party with the other. And we must be proud of it. We have done it almost peacefully. It is common knowledge, not my knowledge, not the knowledge of the bishops, that none of the two major political parties has fared better than the other. Rather, they replace each other periodically. And when they come in, they do almost the same things as their predecessor party. Then the party that is now in opposition waits impatiently for 8 years to come back into power, then to do the same thing. This is what I believe we have observed. It's not my creation or the creation of us. It is clear to Ghanaians that the beneficiaries of the political system in place now are the people, are not the people, but the politicians and the political actors and others in high positions. Ghanaians are witnesses to the accumulated wealth which those in power make in record time and as soon as they enter politics. Ghanaians, we look on helplessly because those in authority are protected by the so-called constitution to do what they do. And they are never prosecuted, they are not punished because the politicians there protect their kind. They are at liberty to listen or not to listen, to accept correction or not. And they do so, and nobody can do anything to them. And that is the system for a few. So how long are we going to bear this? There have been no significant positive changes in our economy since we became an oil-producing country. What is the difference between when we got oil and now in the economy? Now, what happened to the gold and other mineral resources? Why are most of our roads in such deplorable state? Why do we keep going to the IMF? How many times? 17. And everybody says, when I come to power, I will not do it, and they do that. Tell me which of the democratic governments have not have an affair with the IMF. It may have different name like HEPIC or whatever, but it is all IMF. Why do we keep borrowing so much? When we are rich, we are a rich nation. Both governments keep borrowing. It's a function of who is able to borrow more. And we are now in a deep financial crisis. Why are we in this economic and financial quagmire? Now, the massive, uncontrolled corruption is suffocating the nation, and it's as if there are no checks. Some steal our money through the banks, and they are not held responsible. They are walking around, and the poor people who put their monies there are dying and crying. And these are walking around as if we have no government, as if we do not have people to be in charge. Now, it appears corruption is legalized in our country. What should Ghanaians do? Since the existing form of democracy help only a few and leaves the majority behind. What about the impunity and arrogance of some politicians and their defense even of corruption? I see, because we place you in power, we should worship you. Should the constitution not be changed or bettered for it to work for all Ghanaians instead of for a few? Should the legal system not be re-equipped to uproot corruption? What about parliament, where the interest of the people is sacrificed for personal and party interests? Why have we not even implemented the findings of the Constitutional Review Committee? Why did they keep it there? Because if it is implemented, it will erode some of their so-called wealth and corruption. Can the government explain to us why we are in this economic mess? Who knows why we are here? And they assume we can't think. Let alone they don't even have a responsibility to explain to us why we are, other than taking our monies, shaving, etc. Is this the government we ask for? What explanations can the two political parties give to Ghanaians for the favorable agreements we sign on our oil, minerals, power generation, etc.? If even we can't read it, can't it be explained to us? And don't we see the results of the agreements that they do? Why are we poor? Ghanaians more and more no longer accept the old explanations that government of Ghana have been given. People say we bishops should talk. We talk publicly and behind closed doors. But all our talk, what did you do? They will listen. Nothing. Because the system there protects what they are doing. The political changes around us in Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, and on the continent should be a wake-up call for the politicians to amend our constitution and legal systems in a peaceful, democratic way, in a manner that make the government work for the good of all the people of Ghana.
All right. So, thank you very much. Thank you for putting up the video. So, Yanyame na mekon no akese okufi e bias na okufi mpe MPP fo asema na mpe NDC fo asem osofo na nkasa oben Nyankopon no na oreka kire mu se masa munyi mu adwene infi gotam MPP na NDC fo yi oye ewudifo aborofo amudu won achi aga na ye nyina ye bebre me nana aba nti ye nsa ebre kra na ye ne nana ba be din komo nana mpacho accept wo permissions no say ye da wato so nana nti ye hu wo video no nti nana mpacho ma fa video no tum na ye hu na yemisa questions nana yɛde wato mu nti sɛ wobɛsɔ kanea na wasɔ wo video no ne audio no ne yɛde nkɔmmɔ a nana mpɛ sɛ nana ba na mema no fitting introduction. Yes, nti mesrɛ mo monyɛ fifi video link no ne yɛde ato mama wo nana mpakyɛw yɛhu wɔ afiri no so nti okay nti nana refigure out ne system no nana yɛafrɛ wɔ a wonye so nti nana yɛnabra yɛbɛkɔ Mr. Charles Sapon hɔ na yɛnena akɔkasa yɛbɛsan aba nana hɔ bio Mr. Charles yɛde watom bakyɛw ma wo camera no so wo camera no ne wo the man himself CEO yes na opening Charles bakyɛw what's it bibia ya poko bonbie na edika mi bonbie ni mampa ko ni mi tia kasa na tia wati funi na enti bit of no okasa ya no akasa yi ba nfuma okan na afia no kre eni kre do o man Ghana youth no o ma mo bodo the problem I want to say unemployment Ghana rules hospitals insu na yelan sa infama kwa wo se na no ekutia Ghana mabu na eba no it is a yan na yan NPP ni NDC fo emfiri wa ni ampa ku pranti amba o man ebe kra na infima be bre no ma bre nti me se Ghana fo nyina Ghana youth fo no that's why mo say obi ya pre be ko fika no mfa man ko bonin no na ya ntumi nji o man Ghana nsi ko mamu mi amiti ya menum ka che mu aya attention mi na tare semi mi America ni o e ma pigba America o mu na mu ya mo bo mi sra mu se de e be kan mu tie ni na ya nji o man Ghana yemfa fo mamu ayata mu ti ma da bre mi mu ti ma ko mu be bre nti asma ken mi tu nyina se mu se be be fu kwanti wo na mu ko ben no ita se yo go do yo Uncle Charles said that I'm so what ya damo wo ma kasana to yo go wo ma tan yo ko wo ma to ye timba wo ma to ye ni a friend say li jom say yan na sia so ma to wadi it na fu fani fo ni ya dia wo ma wo mu ma na ma you for no nti mo go to grant na chi one bi man ni yeah that's it Royal Crew USA Okasafi Ohio yedase pa nana nyami shell nana yedase pia nana akasa yenko nana JP yede watu bio nti nana JP wahi nana JP eniho nti yebeko Mr. Seth Bempe ho Mr. Seth Bempe yebeko ho Mr. Seth Bempe Pacho 10 on work camera no ne audio Pacho bia what bet wa click on the link no 10 on wo camera and wo audio no nti ye do tuma pe na we fia se e kasa ning se ne yen say break Mr. Seth Bempe ya fro wo camera na ma bobia 10 ne camera ne audio no on se na ye fro wa pe ne de wa to me rekwa ne sa yebeko Mr. Kamal Amwakonho Mr. Kamal yedo atum mpacho bremuna woni nkasa Mr. Kamal
yo
mpacho yenhu
yo abusafo mecheche bia Mr. Grant meche also
kama Mr. Kamal na mpacho
yeah Yamana Duma, Muye, no one said,
Nyame adom bibia ye boko. So jama wo adwuma mu.
I'm with you with Macassa. Yeah.
Very
It was your hope.
very
You don't want to say. So, if you want to say, I was say.
menko.
Since you're a Ghana, I didn't drink Ghana. No. Mamma Ghana toko.
Number cho hina wo.
Kwaya wadi.
Hina wo.
More UK.
Okay. UK he.
Yeah, more UK. What was it?
But cho who UK he?
Milton Keynes.
Milton Keynes. Nice. Okay, menko.
Yeah. But you have come with my catch when the Mamma in Morocco or Ghana. Na Ghana no mes mu be mu ekudu no. Senyo ojifu bia. Enye ojifu a. Enye ada o man be ye. Sisi ano. MPP Nandis no boyembo. Omo boyembo pa. And I think they work together because in NDC mu a good opposition. That is the time and command order. This is the time man order because MPP NDC no and they work together because if you are in opposition you have the same number of parliamentarians. Next in tune and check it government in power no then there's something wrong. There's something wrong.
Wow.
Mr. Kofi Kwantina waba no mi enso no mu ye. Na kwan biala ya na medo adam MPP Nandis would ma semi kakra no ya hwade no omiyenhwe because ayan ndama ayan kwa na yepede wo hade majority of us yepede invest to Ghana and so so we are scared because we move straight to mami yankubi or America or your fish farming in Ghana obi ananga so wa ye fish farming no o kitchen there o peda wadi na nakufa de ne sambo bobo wan o ne farms one way one district one factory no kitchen no one yet because these are some of the things that cause for Ghana. Yemen koye ebuchanfo nzo biara mon homaden na yen jo mani so amadachi yen susu yen ba no pia ya wo huna ebuchi na they want to come back.
Yeah.
They want, but because the conditions are the parents are not encouraging them and they know what is happening as well. Well, say that yen a good government, Ghana will be the best country in the whole world.
Absolutely.
Because there are a lot of people living abroad, Ghanaians abroad, more knowledge. Man so strode over for straight one. And it's true. It's yes, Stramo, Obusianfu. Yes, Stramo. I'm so mad second coming to Yura, so Kofi name there, Kofi. Sisiano, a month with Hiao save man. Into Bomodinara. Na yankopon boa ma monche na manfu wo hu yashen for underground so amama amanfu so na wodi wachi no so wa kuma to woni yim da yan papai olbo adwuma ampa so so kakra moto ante be de busiafo yedam ina ase na mi hira mo.
That's Mr. Kamal from Milton Keynes. Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right.
You're welcome.
Mr. Fifi Ho. Mr. Fifi Bonzi.
Yes, sir. Master Kofi.
Yes, sir. Hey, now see, I'm fantifuna ni enya ono about kodo.
On the trade election hands down because Central you decide who the winner is going to be. And to this time, Fantifo are board. We're on board. Yes, sir. Everybody one-on-one offend then campaign every now and then. Yeah, we'll handle it, but we reach out to the locals, make sure that what's in them be answered.
What's your perspective on everything that's going on in Ghana, CCR?
That's right. And, for example, I think the usual politics, NDC and the MPP for play, what by every now and then about to political gimmicks and some cheap rhetorics to their 24-hour economy. I don't know what that means. Martin America for the past 24 years. Now, 24-hour economy, what's 24 hours? What are they going to be doing? Is it Kayayo, another Okada? And I mean, Mama, the only thing you were able to promise was about Makayo for head pants, and then you're going to bring back Okada. The next thing is for friend, the small scale pottery farm was homemade pottery. Ghana Funan Kasano, Yatram coffee, what that, and sometimes you ask yourself, then you put the saying, can't you just, say, Entuman can cry, internal resources so in one. To them is my Reverend Lekan. Say, Entuman can resource on us in one now. My thing is that every now and then when I talk to you, especially, there are some people that they always stand at the sideline. When you try to convince them, like, oh, Eddie, sure, they're Ghana for what thinking. I'm saying, first of all, do not. It's what I want to say on this platform is that anytime we speak to somebody about this, let them know that we want to convince. They are the problem. The moment you see, if you need, I will need to change. I have to be part of it. And what is your position and your thought? Don't think about the majority. It's one vote at a time. If I'm able to convince you, tell it to another person, that's all we need. One vote at a time. But sometimes they stand behind as if like somebody else is supposed to do it. No, we are all supposed to get involved to see the change that we need. And people kind of then go for that. Go for granting, only to put in all this effort. Just no. That's not the point. Obia when you are breathing and what catch you need to run with the message. Say one. So I will encourage everybody in this platform because Ghana is more conducive the other day. I always say that we haven't started yet. People used to think they still think that Ghana struggle. We don't have what it takes. Say I know there are a lot of times when you put out they ask you how you're going to pay for this, and over again you'll be able to explain this thing to the minute detail. My point is that one there far-fetched just because we haven't started, we haven't done it, and yet it wasn't as if young confident they made some effort in the young results. The fact of the matter is MOB schedule only 5,000 units, no, of course 1,500 units with no infrastructures and all this. I mean, this should tell you the is a BBI is systemic for Ghana. In every facet of life, that's what they do. I remember when Mama was in power, any project bill or target with either 250 million or something like that. I don't know if that was the destiny of the day. And then you ask yourself, 250 million. Yet to come her, 250 million. I was a procurement officer for a little while. 250 million, you're more American. And you're Ghana, so you're cheap labor compared to even China. And Chinese for what's there. Yeah. And in construction and infrastructures, as well cost more labor. And more cost more expensive because you're So I don't know. We know we can see the signs on the wall. So this is not a time to sit on the sideline and ask yourself that, our people, are they ready? No, if I want to say when if you get ready, everybody else will be ready. Just get ready, speak to one person at a time, forget about them, that's how we go.
That's it. That's nice. Fifi, thank you so much, man. Fifi, thank you. Let's give Nana a shot near her there. Mr. Bimpen Saba. Nana, Nana JP, na humano mbuani. Nana, okay. Nana, yawa how many ye na mombre mai. Na yam fombra. Let's go to Mr. Seth Bempe. Mr. Bempe.
Yes, sir.
Champion.
Greetings. I wanna the one you minam road into your friend a Banama land inside. I wanna you put
it show no.
I tell you. Identify more Austria. Said Bimpe, the base Austria.
You were here, Austria.
Yes.
Wow.
Austria.
Nice.
Indeed.
Give us perspective on more Ghana. Now, why
that okay. Anyway, I'm very sad in a wiki and the wiki man offend and your papa, a my wife and papa or baby because of a bad medical system. Whatever Mpampa or when you bought to do crowd going for Kumasi hospital, no, Kofana Chino. Whatever climate was very bad, was very bad. Hey, let me say, mpa we abrocha equipment akufima gofenye bi na medical equipment yet bokono. Adukwa obo frustrated wo port. You know, you Musafinya were complaining. Them say, "Until you pay change, you pay a black of a Kofi Kwanti bar." Now, opposite Sanyama because Mr. Kofi Kwanti bar. You know what? But you know, you better Ghana. Yet Yamaboko.
Yes.
Yet Yamaboko. You know, tell Ghana from so what one. If it's a medical equipment, they mean pana dia. When you go, what's not doing? Adi, we see Adi. People what we do. A hospital could be someone what more. Because they be what the new one a product what the banner can what the a war store na one fan yeshi but Ghana for no painful the way what being a bronity into one Ghana for so bread brako a one Ghana for no prepare because the into for be an corner one make the into tax and a day wala a problem problem pa so Ghana for one sacra wagin no way you them two parties if you are one over prayer because I mean they know about critical metam baby once a while mukwana ma kosra e busafuna mukobag and that's so say China for no sooner wo baba je Japan na you to airport over catch there I will visa in your correct Ghana kopaka and so it's over to yene wa bwechinu because all yan shit yene say dem go fi wo be a foreigners wo be Ghana say e be prayer because able to airport waka there I will ain't gonna into go back. Now, who Japan no Chinese in the on session put also get the county who then is in them then me pay asasi and then me pay Chinese no one year na on no fin baby aban no pump point yama because yet one cow.
Yes.
That's what you Japan and since all there you know about you serious ni ye dem go fifi because ye bre one about na ye bre away shawo shomusa ya attack on Ghana weather Brakofi it's very sad. Very sad.
No, yeah, before Ghana in water, so no, there. Listen, what a poor boy, wa bohena, and what that uncle, woman, coffee, bisika, and wama, wako, king, boom, was a convincing for there, them obey them on Yampa. Yeah, play many year may be a net NBC phone. Near MPP phone could say, yeah, not why ye are me. About no problem. It can't be new. I say, Yabokodo ya can uncle Fat say, on our BT. At the end of the day, no, now you believe the youth of Ghana, so we'll be sure we na my answer when see film. Mr. Said, the Abakan in the
do I say. Inti Mami da medwecha between the every house should be one coffee quantum. If you be young one coffee quantum with you. Yeah, catch a bisafono. If you be a coffee quantum, what the mifinum. Yes, see to me if you be a coffee quantum kuma, you be in election.
By all means,
see me message yeah, every house must be one coffee quantum.
And I believe you. And I absolutely believe you there. You're absolutely right there. Or they be or representing and overcome. Me, I don't even think though they feel be one person or they feel be listen because say penny then why don't you do the right thing? If I be on ye day by a big be ye bunny a being ye. On ye by a quan, ye by a big schools, ye by a big businesses. Na yankasa ye create aina ye domestic market ya tonzame fiye ho na countries na wati ndama fube Ghana market no da wati ye sika mo ye nsi no kofo mu no ye yi woni na efi ho no ye kanda ma ya aka no bona onye bon kra inti we ask you to join us.
Okay,
we could do that. Say big thank you. Ebjafo yeah that ubia say But a couple of things, going into Nana Nana Yafrawa Mbo Nana JP Yafrawa Nana Oha Nana Yefro Nana Yefro. Okay, Nana Yafra Nana Yentin Nana Nka na Nana Oha Bakasama Yenteyu. Video no fatum se yehu nti yet wo kasem so yehu nti yante nana nanka yehu nana so nti nana itumi ye weyi ya na aba na yenyu akasa. Okay, so while we waiting for Nana to come, just so we could there are 261 districts in Ghana. 261. Not one district has everything working. Not one district has water 24/7. Not one district has electricity 24/7. Not one district has all the utilities there. Cable, Mr. Cable, internet, Juma, underground, and say sewer system, Juma, toilet, baby, if you be a toilet room, water closet, sewer underground. Inti na abazena dama NDC no nye MPP free. Abazena waye. One for super to Ghana no nye abaze. Not one district. Kosu kefe, Kalaboni kefe. There are houses there. Ekwa, wo shancha, wo dubegu outside. Wo botim na bata no dako. Why? They need sewer systems. So when somebody comes on about make a statement, be there, I'm going to build a 24-hour economy. Who got a crying to me? If you got him, what time would they be chen? Inti Adrian Wa and Tassi, you know, she. Ona, Tomo concept could need what fair who need a faith or a way of life, substandardness. Many young. And I mean, many young clan. You know, she. Ona, care, meneba, beba, ye. Ocha, Mampera Macansam. Eba, no cook, keke, beke, fishy, bemoko, kukuba, beba, ye, Tomo, concept could you feel. Ona. How can a nation move on like this? How can a nation move on? Ona, the time MP Perebano, no one himself one promises no, won't mean fine Yajuma. MPP for now, no one can't tell them. No one himself one promises free SHS, so one district, one factory, no miss anyone. When himself worrying to me fast anyone in Yajuma. When him kwanga wobekana when say Ghana for the sebe yenim nyansa ntino wobeka bibia kire ye jedi ni ya to abama wo Ghana for yenim nyanso na ye payen ho ye over sympathetic ntin eya yenya botere manipa yenya tema manipa nti ye tie nipa ayenyimi ye Ghana for nyimi ye youth nyimi ye di ye to abama wa imebuye mfaso nyine say yankwasiafo. So in 2019 na Ghana GDP is 61.3%. 61.3% na Ghana GDP 2019. Mahama bano bekase say de why sympathetic youth no will need opportunities for work no money idea. Na Mahama ho yesro. I speak on facts. When was the year the most amount of Ghanaian youth fee Ghana? You year bang in the history of Ghana. Then year na Ghana full youth fee Ghana than any other year. Na nenim. Na misa say hina na presidents at time. The year was 2016. 2016 na Ghana for youth. We more than anything else was Sahara. What capsizing one boat was Mediterranean. Bisa says state official be designated by Mahama Koko negotiatee in the Mediterranean, European countries. And he said, "More much young mana, mon frere near me fire mamre fiana." Mahama Okoye added. Okoye, who foreign minister at that time, Moko negotiatee say Ghana for any Ghana. Woko kind and Namo kind say, "Oh, say Ghana no mom pene mufi say too hard for you. I am one masem say mudi fi Ghana." So, inti abusiafo na memory can say more Ghanaians died in Mahama's time than any other time. 2016. Go and do the math. Go and check the records. So, inti ne Mahama abano can say, "Oh, the youth will need opportunity." And name is who regime no who create opportunities my youth. Why yet you have the opportunity to do it? Why yet? Inti don't come down to make an attempt say what they are more pro youth now what they would to youth. I say you had the opportunity and you blew it, quite frankly. So I say and the NPP they don't even talk about them because they can't even present themselves in the arena. Now we're not here to talk about the worst of the evils. We're here to talk about a new paradigm of leadership. We're not picking the least worst. We're here to pick a new person with a new mind who's going to build a totally new Ghana. Kaya ye any Okada enye staples wa Ghana. Mr. Mahama, Kaya ye any Okada wa for the most part na ye Kaya yin wa ma wonenanom na ye Kaya yin. You should be ashamed of yourself to say one banne Kaya ye maybe a president ne Kaya ye will be banned in Ghana for life. You bet entrenched in the constitution say Kaya ye is banned. Because we'll be or fall below poverty line, we will pay them money for them to stay home and have enough food to eat and have enough mineralization. You best send one checks in the mail into the accounts. So I say that's what I would do as a president because we can afford it. Mahama, we say what they Uber cut down ministers to 60. Mr. Mahama, my question to you is, what is the basis and how are you determining that 60 is an ideal number for you to have in terms of ministers? How do you come about the calculation? Say 60 ministers is what, how tell Ghana how you came about 60 ministers. Young Kofi Kranting in our bank, we will pick 10 ministers. Agriculture, energy, employment and entrepreneurial development, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Finance, Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Interior, Justice, Trade and Industry, Ministry of Health. 10 ministries. Now, you pick 10 ministries, 10 ministers. How do you come about 60 ministers? Say, you're going to slash ministers because the Kufuor went from 127, what about 60? How do you determine, say, 60 is somehow an ideal number of ministers? How do you determine that? Tell us the ministries you're going to have. Tell Ghana, me, I've told you, many ministries here, and you also back count there. Now Ghana folk are going to be discerning and read between the lines to know, say, you are full of fluff, Mr. Mahama. Bahumia, you don't know what you're talking about. You've never known what you're talking about. You are a failure. You should not even be considered. You have the audacity to present yourself as a president. You should be ashamed of yourself, Bahumia. You should be. Ghana deserves better. The youth of Ghana deserves better. The market woman of Ghana deserves better because we're the attraction. And the tables are going to turn in 2024. Two parties. Oh, free water, free electricity, free this. Nina no na free. Muse mama 2.7 million for Edian watching Italia. Where and how did you serve 2.7 million people watching Italia for when COVID happened? It's a lie. Up until now, 75% of the money we got from COVID, $3 billion has not been spent. Sikano way, Sikana Dana Modia, Sikano, so 2.25 million. Sorry, 2.25 billion of COVID money, no, Martin Associate, Yama Wachi, the free water, the free electricity. And yet, says in a matter of electricity, you are true, but somebody's going to pull the plug on you soon. So the Ghanaian youth, they're going to come to the realization, they're going to pull the plug on you that the lies has come to an end. Munano, you're going to face your lies. And when the day will come, you don't have to answer to me, but you are going to face your lives. Now, then you do durwa. Now, then you do it. Now, we will do durwa. So, my dear, to say, a crumb for diatro, no more diatro na, more fairly Ghana for all the resources we have. Maton bibia, lithium, and saying so, marathon. Then, pana more pay. Into parties on Yansa Fubi and Ghana on the day, you bet me the man on the YN 100%. With the 400-500 million, I could see Cathy. Says he can who invest in lithium and how do you say and the smartest of the smartest of the smart engineers no opinion lithium mine they are quite cathedral say they promise you Nyankopon. Dumb. I just don't understand. I saw my accept this idea say President Ababekesi will promise you Nyankopon. Now so for you've allowed him to lie to your congregants. If you care about your congregants, stand up and speak like Right Reverend Jemfi did. And I'm going to call the politicians for what they are. Say, well, you are kromfo, atrofo, amam bofo. Yes, sir, your day of reckoning is also coming. Politicians, you're going to pull your record. You be support. You will never go scot-free. And you make of granting, but obireba. So I say, man, and I him for no so a more so a day is coming. A day shall come. Now bang. Now then do Mube patchel, mube bunku to be su. The Pacono Urban Orientie. Like I say, you had the chance and you abused it. More some politicians yet. Now one Ghana for Abraham market women are ebre. Young ye bet me ma won poverty line checks. Every month Ubio make less than $500. No, what's sending a check when you be when you be no. Yes, affordable housing. Ghana 50 story. The reason why I know that's possible because of Singapore. Why they are built, baby to say Kasagla make shortest building over 50 story. They are parking more than 500,000 people, 1 million people. Near Kwachimota, near development be near Kupukwasi, near development be near sea. No be baby didn't tito. We are singular. Who down for back and I wouldn't for being no share one apartment somewhere in Singapore. So, who are you? No, I could do wow day. No, Chian and Kakra, not a bear would day, and who he says, so prayers are so now quite as a plan, but Basabisi won't say as a sino, not essay soil, any ye were finding community, no, as I say, ye preserve young and sassy. Obianya si capture na man and be no akobo patesi asase so no asay asase na insuba na insuno into me absorb soil into me absorb insuno into na cause unnecessary flooding na favor ta phone when hu amane make na VR phones we bue one gate na elukum nipa na livestock wo volta we say oh we knew this was coming we want them to move they didn't move nyansa onipa nti a we see dam no Web we floodgates and say uncle flooding Ninkumun. Hey, Ghana. And all these people go scot-free. Now Monso vote for so much was a move to my NDC for then. Listen to me, people of the Volta, listen to me. Don't vote for the NDC people. Listen to me. If they cared about you, they will not allow VRA and the government to flood and kill you and your livestock. Then they have more. What you say? More vote for NDC. Man, you gotta be mad to think like that. Listen to me. The person who kills you, no, uhuna. Born to baby na call baby. Nipa or say will livestock or so well, we say will say yeah sympathetic intino. Listen, you don't have to vote for MPP, but certainly don't vote for NDC because they're not your friends. What is going on? So Mahama ne NDC had an austerity plan for 918 million cedis from the IMF in 2015. Says Sikano NPP4 na NPP4 na be inherited says Sikano. No they can one day home. They say ubia ba kabo oboka na dan mitie NDC representative that not all debt is bad. We're going to borrow, but we're going to use it for Massa. Why do you need to borrow if you standing on the money? Then we have to invest $10 billion into agriculture every year. We don't have to borrow any money from the IMF. We have enough resources in Ghana to generate income. So the government of NDC and NPP don't find need to go and borrow money because they are weak-minded governments. They don't know any other way but to borrow. That makes you a weak government, a weak thinking. You don't have the mental capacity to be to do anything different. Nana Kufu sechi ama mendoro ba na also wa be count day. Nana Kufu sechi ama turn all camera on nabra na bekasa Nana Kufu sechi ama aba na ye de deli so beba. Nana Kufu bra na bekasa na yehu se wo so original so ye de deli so beba Deli Junior and so Deli Junior said Deli Junior waha Deli Junior turn camera on. Oh, Nana Kufu waha, okay, good. Nana Kufu mini ana hot turn who speaker no on. Who speaker no on turn on yet? Turn who speaker on.
Yo, what you mean, Kenny?
It's on coming. I know what you have mokola.
Oh, say ja. You want to know, sir?
Now he
and the record say, ni jepa say, what you are na Uruguay amanfo ani ne sa NDC MPP a emfa hwe mayen na de ka ene egoridi na amanfo bre amanfo yare wontumi nko bibia nko so efi say NDC MPP wo hu kotoku anfa kora nche na mreko enti no eti say ye onyira asi ni the new thinkers of Ghana na yakoyanim.
Very good. Very good. And we should send a Ghana a dingy. Now we should send a Mahama Bano abeka 24-hour economy. Now we build toilets. Who did we are say who got toilets? We are say we be jare yes sir. No money idea. Just say a big crowd would you Ghana and I will sir.
Oh, I am mobile. Say what the Ayesika. They say no sika kese na odi ya won't mean yajma what the Sikanish policy say NDC or headquarters. Our from Adabraka. Unless you don't come on. They say you don't understand. I'm mobile. Ain't in ever say a man for tennis say more than you don't come on near Tuma coffee near Sangana. Na adiki abi to send your baby in Shakos Philly say you better make creative housing, affordable housing. If you have to expand them dam now, you better expand it near relocating Crawford and that's a better irrigation. All these things we need good thinkers. Now yet me akoyanim. na gwori ni politics ese okotu ya sika ma no vote ma on de emfa ya nko ya hwe
sir
oh
na mpacho hina wo in the world M7 baby I want no chili
we were New York City
city does not sleep mpacho say hono M say a 24-hour economy mo economy na wo hono would compare Ghana there Mr. Mahama person in a 24-hour economy do you see any
Mahama 24 on the say nkomo because the can be reached on 24
oh I see
you know it's a propaganda 24 hours economy now then
very good
you know what you say but they cannot do it to me who kutokuna no fa crunch and America
sir
you know you know at say straight in up it's just big talk you know political talk
Marty
into the friend America fie into your back as I mtiamo
yeah that's say also by now we'll take on Niama say Nana Akufu Lati Sechiama na from New York City yeah then I say upon a 24-hour economy what take 24-hour economy obra akwankura mu ni bi wokrum wona baabia Ghana traffic lights in you must be traffic. Why don't you start with allowing for all the infrastructure to work and no keke Mahama who can no cram po nipa bebo do so say obema traffic light bia ye dwuma Ghana traffic light in you Ghana wona baby 37 traffic light do Kolebu 30 traffic light do wona Adenta traffic light baabia traffic light do Ministry of Defense and him traffic light in you ho hey now we kese we be masa concept yes nana waba nana GP waba nana mai nana say nana free no on my nti abusiafo we've done an hour and a half yerba bi wia nisa yedama se yen corner oh Delhi aba Delhi let's bring in Delhi hey Delhi what's going on big man Delhi today Pacho activate wo speaker no na kasawai Delhi yente wonka we can hear you activate two speaker yente Delhi yente wonka activate two speaker turn your speaker on Delhi turn your speaker on turn your speaker on. Speaker. Delhi, turn your speaker on. Turn your speaker on. Yenton kasa. Oh, ready. Delhi, yenton kon. Uhume. Okay, Delhi T and na say or technical difficulty kakra the onkafra Delhi yama wo ujakrum the wo the asa no de yo nti na Delhi wo ayinema why wo ayinema nti abusiafo in yeriwie no na masa ye kasi Ghana sena de bia ye ka no abusiafo nti it's up to the youth say you be push niama out na yebema the whole world to know say listen this is a proposal for a totally new Ghana say yebe ya kwangi 78,000 kilometers of roads no yebe an asphalt international quality obeya kwang from Accra to Burkina border 6 lane why kwange wo Ghana na major roads why tertiary roads secondary roads why nina baby a wo be see development we infrastructure we why kwang and san we see adan wo unko si dan wuram then how we ko no si dan fe na wo na boom na wo nam dontodim na de ko then how yen baby a wo see development wo see dan let's say why infrastructure wo why light why nsu why sewer na phone lines the high speed internet and sana one could see adan wo ho sa no ye nen sa ne yɛkɔ into the new paradigm, the new Ghana no ɛno na ɛho hia sɛ ɛsɛ yɛyɛ na sɛ na meka no you make the public sector no you make it more efficient by adding more infrastructure and resource. Well, we train and crofo when you high competencies. Now when you high competencies, now when you high connectivity, and no, not private sector, no bemwa, not it fuels sa growth, no. Now and no, I overflow this spectrum. This spectrum near 8 hours. Until overflow spectrum now. They go into 10 hours, 12 hours, and I could do 24. But what government won't doing a year 24 economy? Me tell you, open country say, Kofi, why me? I don't understand. How does a government create a 24-hour? We busy, corona, we busy. So we your hospital now. Hospital money 24 hours. And just over 24-hour economy. 24-hour economy, you know, is scripted, controlled by the private sector. Startups, yes, said in Kofun San Juma, in your technical skill set to be a while school, high school, no free senior high school, go into a specialized training, be our friends in small business administration. When you're near more here, I can't be also here, not their setup or no any business who do have professional labeling, near so ye or ye artisanal, so ye skill ye offending tradesmen. And sir, you know you're professional. 24-hour economy. Wakang got to call Abuso can call her pothole say Wabuso can call offending tema house Ufi end of Spinters Road now one the whole of Rose then Sakumono. Cause Sakumono question and when boom now what you say? Accra friend in Sawam Road. Na kohese na kwana say, yes, I never need na ye ni mass transit system. Aya lolo fi. What I say went to a banking went to a firm. I cry me who I'm saying Ghana bus. Who babrichi, me na me UPS. Me a supervisor of UPS. Ye buses never na ko ye delivery bar every night be I so people who walk around more here. Baby a tin cry say na be fan no be ba no be paint. Baby a dent I so be body work. No oil, no spray. Na car no go back to work anopano from Adufana to anopano. Where body work no one spray. Adechia what they are to route. So who was system say ye Juma say na wuko and no build the ane becomes the 24-hour economy. Oh sorry, I'm gonna build a 24. Hey, NDC. And when it scratches say mo yi mo hoto. Mo nim na mo kan. NDC for nim na mo kan. In this age, day and age, 24 concept. Me say, Mama, we need you for a debate. So we say, we na what doing is our 24-hour economy now. Come and tell us your ideas, and we will tell you it was wildly just thought of. It wasn't very well thought of. Me can't you know. But yeah, man, you oh gosh, God have mercy. Yet movie see her 138. Oh, may read text to kakra na fee unless of course we do one more person ba. Let me know. Daily and me ama obiaba go for yenya won na ye da won say nana ana ye hwe nanim when to me ama ye be call into yen chats na hwe yen chats kakra by no ye timu nsem okay, Obisi, I would love to read this. Obisi then, what can the NDC do about the spillage? Speak more to it, please. Now, NDC, Obisi, I like this. Obisi, what can the NDC? The NDC can't do anything now, but when they were in power, no, area of Volta had an overspill. As a responsible government, you know, say, now you would do diligence. Now who say, you were dam. You need reservoirs are a spin off the dam. Every dam, said there's a possibility of say water rise will go over. Into what you do, let's say you create reservoir 1, reservoir 2, reservoir 3, reservoir 4, reservoir 5, reservoir 6, reservoir 7, reservoir 8. So reservoirs, you take it into farming communities. I will use reservoirs, to irrigate one farming communities. Now, reservoir, you put pumps. Pumps, will release gates. Release gates, release it in say, overfill. Na insuna air dam no eba low. You say we have 10 gallons on for maximum power war akosombo. Na echo 7 gallons. As we release insunu fee reservoir never come never back into the grid. Now it remain the premium 10 gallons na my maximum power generation. Inti reservoir BIH with the pumps shisha ho Singapore uko the barrage wo 27 ton. One pump BIH 27 tons in weight. A pump in soup fi reservoir no into the sea. So inti you be pump in suno from reservoir no back into the run adequate Akosombo Dam no. It is Akosombo Dam no call lower. Ni ebuye gates no. Na insuna fi reservoir no na go back into Akosombo Dam. Now my optimum electricity. Say Akosombo Dam no stay optimum. Na insuna eba no to me make maximum electricity kilowatts na here na. Then neighborhoods na we reservoirs, what they are farming, and they continue to use it. So until you use it and you recycle some and they store it, they'll say what be maxed out. The possibility of maxing out reservoirs, almost impossible because we see 10, you about to use 4 or 5 to 80-90% capacity. Until when you use 10 in now. Inti say anka insu be ya anka insu toya insu no broson na we release extra 5 no na a containing insu no na insu na aye at least accord down to workable limits. Say as I say e be over that because you want to make nature say it gives you more time to plan. Say okay send insu be ya exhaust 10 reservoirs na insu da soba. As see you spill gates, but because here were reservoirs 5 in time and sooner reservoir now also more via in the government emergency planning. No more planning say okay in send and sooner it doesn't look say the best filling young reservoirs in and sooner besaba intina if you moving croful ye evacuate one ye the big cosaglami ye the big koha na government let me build up 24-hour makeshift developments. Yes, see tents, your toilet, your hot meals, your blankets, your mosquito nets. Now, if we have to open up the spill gates now, a bad damage, Niama, is when Kumunipia, livestock, because you're repositioning now, and no more friends in Yansa. I don't end this if one, yes, sir. I don't end this if one, I don't MPP for one, yes, sir. Indeed, that's what I mean, say. And this before you blew your shot into your could talk black could you know I say, oh, the MPP has caused this to it causes because we were parliament as a legislature and went to me and you and can't say one war. What I say, the country is really small for so many. I think we need a constitutional amendment to cap the number of ministers to not more than 20 ministers. Masa, and yet 20, we're going to bring in 10 ministers. We don't need deputy ministers, chief directors can perform their jobs. Absolutely. And on a young year by into your baba 10 ministers per 10 ministers. Obiano, Yabema managing directors, the one staff I human ni Kobla Kati Kosi say promising a 24-hour. It's a corrupt system in a corrupt system is promoting the worst of the current situation. Absolutely. So, Nikobla, thank you so much. System and America say from the beginning, America say if a government cannot promise Ghana for and show how they're going to eradicate corruption and punish severely anybody who causes financial loss to the state now, they cannot be in government because young primary problem, cancer, corruption. If you want to make fix corruption now, over 24-hour economy, get out of here with that nonsense. For real. That's okay. Per the number you gave, Mahama spent 113 billion cedis and Akufo-Addo have spent 478 billion cedis so far. Definitely MPP 478 cedis is more debt than Mahama's 13. Yes, you can calculate it in the ratio or percentage, but in real numbers. No, you're absolutely right. P leverage, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. In terms of nominal figures, Akufo-Addo, definitely blew the gates. I mean, in terms of percentages, absolutely. Mahama is worse than Akufo-Addo, but in terms of real nominal numbers, yes, you're right. So listen, nobody can take the cake away from Bawumia and Akufo-Addo. These guys, they are extraterrestrial. They shouldn't even be seen. Well, my passport, one-way passport, say never come back to Ghana again. You try for life. But Mahama is not the option. That's what I'm saying, because he really doesn't know what he's doing, and the less he speaks, the better, because he goofs every time he talks. 24 economy, he's going back like 5 more years. The guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Next, let's go on the next. More text. Text be been or na yen can text in na yen fa in. Mr. Kofi, just put in your mind that you will lead this country after 2024. Okay, I'm into some mining work to funding money for the campaign. Okay, see you later after December. Okay. Chinebi, okay, that's it. Just to think, say. Campaign, and people, let me just tell you this. Let me tell you how important that is. You could just call baby. Inti Kofi Kwantere no for concessions and fan komubi. Baby. You're proper. You see, the thing is, do you really need money to win the election? Because of Ghana's seditiousness, but other than that, say Ankagana Funa. But together, the youth, we are fighting for you. Please stand up, because if the youth are 66% of the population, 12.5 million, was standing up and walking, say, listen, we had enough. We're voting for Kofi Kwantia. Game over. Game over. It will blow your mind. Nobody, listen, Opa, Ubian Fremi, let's talk. Let me prove to you our plan. Okoye website at kofigranting.com. It tells you. Frankie, if you have a chance, put out our card of the things we'll do with our policies. Put it up so people can see on the screen. But we are not joking. Listen, the only reason why NDC and PP thinks they're going to break the 8 and say, what is the top man for? Sikana, what am I COVID? No, what's not so? Or Babe Ched, dear my yes, you can 2 GB dear and your bonnet, but meant to Abama. Meant to Abama, because a Wisican water amount dear dada, what to Abama, one way, because what pet or baby basic can view. Not to say, walk on one hospital in human worrying yet. Think about it. Let's go to the next offending slide. You text. Then call the next na yen friend me. Say your view swat na yen call Kofi Kwantia. I tried joining by the network. Oh, sorry. Jesse. You could join network. Oh, Ghana na me who say what basu me who say what basu Jesse and Kabebe found. Let's go to the next. Imam, Thank you, Imam. Imam Kofi Quantin, you know what you're talking about for real. Oh, that's, you can bet your last money. Oh, I'm not kidding you. I really know what I'm talking about. Let me see. Mopa. The Obia will tear me piano. Kokache Mahamani and Baumia said they should take Kofi Quantin on in a debate. No one what the catch is because they know what they're talking about. Replying to P11, yes, in real figures, MPP has done worse, but mathematically, NDC have done worse. But in the important thing is that they have all failed us. So let's forget them and focus on the good news from the camp of Kofi Quantin. And you're absolutely right. Debiana Meme can say, if you live 500 yards away from a nuclear reactor or 200 meters away from a nuclear reactor, bottom line is that when it blows apart, you both get fried. You can't say, oh, we are 220, we are worse off than the person who's 500 feet. The distance will not matter. The debts that MPP and DC have caused us does not matter in this case. They're all worse because they all could have done better. We have arable lands in abundance. Listen, we can converge Ghana food now. Listen, I went to Shanghai. Shanghai is a city slightly bigger than Greater Accra. There are 27 million people who live in Shanghai. 27 million. We can bring the whole 33 million Ghanaians into Greater Accra and a little bit of Eastern, a little bit of Central. The rest of the country develop into agriculture. And then we will be the richest nation on planet Earth. Just think about it. I don't know about you. We better designate one airport a hub. You will be 200 planes, and the one said they everywhere in the world. Who here cheapest organic food? You better deliver plane abroad. But we have one thing I may be assured. Make I am saying we need to go. Eduango is the most expensive wabuchi. Ubi our wabuchi. You between aye. We see what the Konako Netherlands for plan. Netherlands make $108 billion a year from agriculture. Netherlands. 108 billion. Do you know how much Ghana could make from agriculture? Hey, you will swear a pan seniama. Nambo na water SUV model lithium anamo diamubi gold anamo diama kuku anamo diache oil anamo diama. She said, me, I don't understand. Inti yanko okay. Inti Grace Aqua, Kofi Quantin, only hope for president. Thank you, Grace. My sister Imam, the main man for the job, indeed. Free common sense tutorials for NDC and NPP and their followers. Hey, Grace. Grace, we are bad. Hey, Grace. Now what free tutorials? Yes, yeah, young unity, young policy. Is there any way you could expand it? Is there any way you could expand it? If you can, we are also going to take a screenshot and expand it. But young policy card name. I will say, okay. Number one, we'll say, as President Kofi Quantin will change the constitution, institute a national development. They will abolish ex gratia and Article 71. They will enforce law and order. They will develop youth for skilled jobs. The NTSC develop youth for skilled jobs. And you zoom line on new money at the youth. And then the jobs keke. You lifestyle. Eduma wokwa benefits. Uchiel medical. Unyesikato retirement mu wo yire na wo kunu what you say nti mon kan niama ne guso no e bebre nti yedamase Jesse Kono say oh Mr. Quanting, I tried joining by the network. Oh yeah, sorry for that. Say NDC and MPP catch a Mahama non-fixed network in and on year 24 economy. Ghana needs a strong-willed leader to right the wrongs who will watch the watchmen as well. Ideas Bank order. Yeah, that's it. Yes, yeah, that's it. Ntina, let me see how we've done 1 hour 50. Okay, so we close in exactly 2 hours. But if anybody else who's not had the chance to come on live to speak wants to come on and speak, we will grant you access to do that. Other than that, Nana, your video is not working. Nana, your video is not working. Turn your video camera. Nana is still on, but he can't figure out how to get his video. You have not accepted the permissions, Nana. Accept permissions for video. Close out and come back in. Close out and come back in. It's maybe you have another 3 minutes to go. Anybody has a question, you could text it up the screen so we can answer it. If not, oh, who do we have? We have somebody here. Can you put your face up so we can see you? Somebody's up. Kwejo, good evening to the call. Kwejo, how are you doing? Kwejo, activate your speaker. Why? Who speaker number? Who was it, ma? Kwejo,
yeah. What's to me?
Mpacho yetonka.
Oh, midasi. Me for a while. It named me first time I made bar online in Kofa Kasa. So just bear with me for a little bit. But I got a few questions to ask you if you don't mind.
Sure.
What is your see? My problem is the mindset, right? I live in New York. You've been to New York, you know how it is. So let's not go through it. The mindset that we have, that we think that we can't do anything. So we always seek outsiders to come in and do for us. How are you doing that in the grassroots level, right? Because to me, we have a problem of people who are too old with a mindset that needs to be changed, right? And then we have young kids coming up who do not need to learn the mindset. So what are some of the things that you are doing to help? Because I think it's a long way for you to go for people to understand what you're saying, because they don't possess the mindset, no disrespect, but they don't understand what it takes for us to get to where we try to get to. Because, and yet all those little things, we have to change those things to realize that every single bit, every second is very important.
Kwejo, there are a lot of the viewers are saying that you saw their face, so they want to see your face. So bring your face.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Much better?
Yeah. But yeah, excellent. Kwejo, we can see you. That's good.
Okay.
Kwejo, you're absolutely right. What we can do is you have to move a step at a time. So
correct.
The job is not to change the mindset, because that will take what we call a revolution of the intellect. The revolution of the intellect you cannot do in isolation. You have to do with all synergistically with all the ministries, all the agencies of government, all working in one orchestra. You see, the first thing we need to do is, with what we have to get in power. Once you get in power, all the ministries will change the way they do business, which means curriculums will change for Ministry of Education, Ministry of Information. Well, we don't have a Ministry of Information, but in terms of even billboards, the content on television, the things people read, newspapers, the shows that we bring on television. Everything will change. Everything will go.
But let me. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I know you have a very short time, so I don't mean to push you. But let me ask you this. Let me push you back a little bit. No, how are things going to change, right? Because we all know that with practice becomes quote unquote an addiction, whereas you keep doing the same thing over and over again. It becomes hard for you to stop doing what you're doing over and over again. Everything is not going to change just because one person got into office, right? So I just want to know the intangibles. What exactly, do you have in mind, or something that you think will work? Because we can't get anywhere if we can't think. And the problem is we can't think.
Okay, and you're right. But what I'm saying to you is the way you change people's mind is by acclimating them to the status. Now, it's very systematic. What you do is you expose them to what you want, at least for 21 days. After 21 days, they start forming habits.
I do agree. Yeah, proven. Yes.
You have to expose them to the environments that you want. You cannot do it in a heartbeat. It has to be gradual, and it has to be very strategic, and it has to conform to everything else, because everything else that they see in Ghana has to be a reminder that you are a better human being first, so that they can see and feel worth within themselves. And
correct.
See and feel worth within themselves, then they're gonna perform at a higher level because they see themselves as higher.
Yeah.
The kind of Ghana we have now, we have been substandardized to everything, which means that thinking is substandardized because you go everywhere is filthy and clean. There are no clean bathrooms. So it's a constant reminder that you don't even deserve to see what excellence.
Correct.
So
condition. Yeah.
So I'll prove to you. When you take the same Ghanaian who you are talking about now and you bring them into Singapore.
Oh, you don't even have to finish. You are right. You are 100% right. They will do the right thing. Yes.
Because their level of expectation has changed. So what we need to do is we need to bring them to a new world order where they're starting to see continually excellence. And then they will acclimate to that level. Right now, the level is not here, the level is down here. So the people who are good are continually becoming bad. Like you take somebody who moves from New York or from London and they go and live in Ghana. Soon they're crossing traffic lights, they're disregarding road signs, and they do it also to say, you see, because they go in the opposite way. So when you elevate the status and the environment, people acclimate to it. And that's what we have to do synergistically. You cannot just say, hey, I want to make Ghana the cleanest city. No. Every to making it the cleanest city. And then there has to also be punishment, because punishment is the consequence for not respecting the law. The quickest way to get somebody to respect and to obey and to comply is to put in a correctional method. The correctional method is the punishment. So if they do something, but you cannot hold somebody responsible if you haven't first created what we call the institutional infrastructure. The institutional infrastructure is the basis that you give the person so that they can perform and behave optimally. Once you have done that, then you could correct them. But if you haven't done that, you cannot hold them responsible. You see? So So the government has to first provide the institutional infrastructure to hold the person accountable for their behavior. So then when they fall out of the behavior patterns, you can correct them by punishing them. You give them a summons. You see, receptacles anywhere in Ghana. So how do you correct somebody when they throw garbage on the floor? Where should they throw it? They don't have a place. It would be nice if they brought it home, but most people just want to get rid of it. You see what I'm saying? So the government is not there yet. They're thinking about 24-hour economy. They haven't put garbage receptacles around, and they think of God. You know what I'm saying? But these are important, and these are the things that's going to differentiate us from everybody else.
One more question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Yeah, the obi kasa and yeah the kasa. You be kasa, you bu your mind.
Sir.
Right? Yent me, yes, sir. And you're saying, you're not no one sit near your canna see a bit you boom.
Sir.
All I'm channel.
No,
Inti again, I say, yeah, because to me, dear, Enka Emia, Enka Colebia, no Obesia, Okostua, Obesia, Chi, Gan, Fanti, like the 5 main things that we all speak, no. Obesia become fluent in it. Right? Which also gives you empowerment.
Sir.
All I'm saying, because meet me throw me amikasa, and Smith man to obedient. Meet me come me amikasa ye, and Smith man to obedient.
Inti, Maminka, the truth and matter and show. I am all for Ghana languages. But could you well the air wohono yen to mean do level la yet self-sustaining. Until you have to deal with someone. Nipa kona on the kwaku deal no brofo eka. Until wo kona won tene kasa no bebu.
No, make us a mention of brofo. In addition.
Maybe inti okay. Yeah, best at training for reading bia kasa wo mo kan. Wo mo beka wo school. At least it will be an elective in the curriculum. They the brofo na ka ho. Inti ye be che brofo no. But ye be che twi ana ibe ana da ana so said
depending on where you are.
Because ye drink as ye to brofo na actually because they no so be disable ye say ye kwa
I agree. I agree. So, yes. Yes. Okay. Me for those so me that's be brave. I appreciate you taking the time. I'll be watching you for a while. This is the first time I figure out how to get ICB on YouTube, but I didn't know this was here. So yeah, I appreciate it. Now maybe me that's let's and one thing I want people to understand is that although we are not back home, right? We don't need to be back home to get things right. A lot of people say, oh, breath. You don't need to come back home to get things right. You need to do things right back home so we can send things back home to make things right. That's the mindset we need. So Obia Betfia, she, meet me Jai Bejuma me and I said, Bibia me wa and I mean for Bethy, but and so say Bibi wa Fiena say yeah. Meet me about everybody say, oh, me invest it, me yet say. Oh, I'm saying. So yeah, toy about yeah, cast oh, yeah, brief enough. There be figure out what the person can do while he's outside to contribute to make it a much better place for us all, because that's the main focus of the goal. It's not because it's to me, another thing is MPP. I don't even know who's MPP, who's NDC. I don't know. I don't care. What I really care about is what are you doing? What is your mindset, right? Because think about it. You were about for 8 years. How many millionaires no Maya? If they can boast of my millionaires, how many of the millionaires are Ghanaians? Right? We got to think about these things because if you are saying to me, Obia tracer of a general of the work you push for. That's
right.
Inti say yeah dear yen kan hwe say yen dear inti so obi ada obi na obi aba say oh metima be there and pa corner be gia ya yakosua dia yeni made no yen mechi omo say madam fo say the business say na otutu ade to ho because so oyo obi die ya na also die ye meja no ha.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, Kwejo. You couldn't have ended better because we're gonna take an extra step into developing our own. Because here, see a Ghana youth, I not focus. One more lazy, one more quadro, one more said yeah.
They're not lazy. They just follow.
Obian training one more. You need small business administrations. It's so woman sa. Ne emma wo small loan say monkoye monhia moa momma between obi anyesa they just leave them go and sick them. You can't win with that strategy. So no. Hold people's hand. We're going to train them anywhere that they get off on the education spectrum. No. Then soon, Sunny and Chiro said they're number one.
Yeah, because everybody is important.
Sir.
Yeah. Everybody contributes. You know, the thing is, Obia didn't say because Obia farmer, no. Just like no, that farmer is very, very important. That person sweeping the floor is very, very important. They can give you the information on what's going on in the neighborhood. Everybody has something that they bring to the table. Absolutely. The important thing is you being intelligent enough to recognize the value in a human being.
There you go. And that's a job for a leader. And that's why these guys don't qualify to be leaders, because they don't see it.
No.
But it's been fun talking to you, Kwadwo.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Take care. Any for we've done 2 hours and 10 minutes. Thanks to Kwadwo. Join me on the chat. Monswa mo baya mo bekasa ye. We want to also stress that me, Kofi Granting, I am running for president in the 2024 elections in Ghana. Nti mon konko register na munye bibia possible say mo ne mo bisua for mo na fofo ne obia mo beto ama me Kofi Granting. Mon subscribing to campaign donation. $10 a month pay. $10 a month. Until Ubia will share and say, won't subscribe ya, nanya subscribe na bekanya home na also $10 a month no unso be tuabi. Yeda muna must say mobekanya home, yedi dumedino aba a year. As always, me Kofi Granting, I'm your steadfast advocate for outstanding leadership. Nobody comes close. And we're ready to do exactly that. God bless you. Live abundantly and prosper. That's our name. Yebesang Asia view. Monshe Muhusuye na Yamra na Yumishia view next week. God bless our homeland Ghana. Take care. And have a good night. Frank, take it away.
Oh, Ghana. Oh, my Ghana. My country, Ghana. My motherland, Ghana. Ghana. Is this the country our forefathers shared their blood for? Is this the Gold Coast, now Ghana, our warriors leaders fought for? It's a question to all of us. Oh, my home Ghana, my motherland Ghana is moving backwards. No jobs in the country. Children are dying on the street. No homes for the less privileged. Poverty is killing us all. Kofi Granting, a brave leader, Kofi Granting, come and save Ghana. Ladies are calling you, men are calling you, old men are calling you, and youths are calling you. Kofi, a visionary leader, Kofi Granting, come and save Ghana. Central region is calling you, Greater Accra region is calling you, Eastern region is calling you, Western region is calling you, Volta region is calling you, Oti region is calling you. Kofi Granting, a visionary leader, Kofi Granting, come and save Ghana. Ahafo region is calling you, Ashanti region is calling you, Bono region is calling you, Bono East region is calling you, Western North region is calling you, Savannah region is calling you. Kofi, a wise leader, Kofi Granting, come and save Ghana. Northern region is calling you, Upper West region is calling you, Upper East region is calling you. Kofi, a brave leader, Kofi Granting, a visionary leader, Kofi Granting, a wise leader, Kofi Granting, come and save Ghana. Edriaso, Mofaina, Utina, Nagana Fuina, Mobrana, Fada de Granton Bra, and Mamma Freya Dachin, I have fit.
Sims made it.
Panty full, refrain, same full, refrain.